The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Bahamas Union of Teachers commending the Ministry of Education for its recent decision to implement a national diploma program throughout the high school system in the country. Union officials say they agree that this diploma will enhance standards at the high school's level. Megan Shepard has the story.
Vice President for the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quentin LaRota, commending the Ministry of Education for realizing a need within the education system and taking steps to address that need.
Namely, the credibility of a high school diploma, standardizing across the board, the low graduation rate, and a cultural change. This requirement for attendance and punctuality, I think, will yield some fruit in terms of putting in the mindset of the Bahamian people the importance of these things and creating a certain mindset that school is important, that will lend to the workforce being important.
LaRota adds that while the BGCSE is a national examination, these exams are not necessary for graduation, as these exams are separate and apart from the National Diploma Program. Nonetheless, he's still encouraging students to take the BGC exams. He says what's unique about the diploma program is the fact that it is fashioned to meet the student's interest and intended career.
But there's a pathway for those individuals who are being prepared for the workforce and being prepared for apprenticeship or training in vocational areas. And that's what I like about it too. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It tries to meet the needs of the students as well as the needs of the employers and society as a whole. It is saying that we are preparing a group of students that when they come out of school, they're prepared for college, for the workforce, or for some vocational training, and the students then have more choice in what they want to do and picking a career or an area that's more in tune with what their ambitions are.
LaRota says while he does accept that the program will have some hitches as it is now in the trial process, he is confident that it will meet its objective of raising the standard of education as well as the percentage of students that graduate from high school.
Anytime you create a situation where kids have more of an input in what they want to learn, the chances of those kids being successful increases. Also, that you have to attend so much of the classes to acquire these credits and so forth. This credit system, I also think, would help. But what we have to look at really is implementing this means that the society has to take education more seriously. Those of us who are parents, we have to take it more seriously. That attitude will pass on to our children. And hopefully in a few years, that'll help to change the culture.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, investigations are continuing into that structural fire over in Abaco that has left 104 residents of the Haitian community of the Sandbanks and Treasure Key displaced. The fire erupted early yesterday morning and destroyed some 60 structures. 104 adults, 36 children, and 7 infants were displaced as a result of that blaze. The Deputy Prime Minister led a contingent to Abaco today to survey the damage in that shanty town. Details will come in the national report at 7 p.m. And the Prime Minister in the nation's second city this past weekend to pay last respect to a man for his involvement in the political, sports, and corporate circles. Joan Davis Roll has this story.
The nation's leader, the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, traveled to Grand Bahama to join hundreds at Calvary Temple Assemblies of God Church on Saturday to bid farewell to the late Bruce Ulysses Russell. It was an occasion which transcended the political divide, as members of both the government and the official opposition were among those paying their final respects. Tribute after tribute was given to a man they say personified greatness. For those who reflected, it was not an average home-going service, but a celebration, a grand celebration of Bruce Russell's life.
After I tweaked my tribute, I had at the headline discipline, patriotism, fatherhood, and integrity. Now this ain't no Google business, this me. And I would like to say to the children, Bruce Jr. and Shane and Brian, Brittany, you got some big shoes to fill.
I had suffered Crohn's disease for almost 8 years, and I was ready to give up because it just cost too much, and I know that my parents had spent their last on me, and I just felt like I can't do it anymore. And he said, stop talking foolishness. You go to church, you know God. Believe in him. Well, I tell you, 6 years ago, I had a surgery and the disease is gone. No more medicine, no more pain, no more suffering. And it was my Father who brought me through that.
Then there were others who recalled the life of the outstanding Bahamian via video montage.
He's gone, but his legacy will always live are the things that he did. Not only basketball, football, and everything else, and he was always happy.
The former banker, gaming board executive, tourism executive, legendary athlete and Progressive Liberal Party stalwart councillor was remembered by the nation's leader as an exemplary Bahamian.
Dick was a decent man. Decency is a quality that not everyone has. Dick was loyal to what he believed in, and he never sought personal reward for what he gave.
The late Bruce Russell, known for his athletic prowess, was also named after former football great Dick Brown, a man who many say has left an indelible mark, a mark which the Prime Minister believes should be remembered in a significant way.
I have the privilege of representing the people of this country, and I would wish to recognize in this part of our Commonwealth today that we are putting to the earth a man who's given much to many, and whose memory deserves to be lifted up, whether in athletics or sports, or whether just in his human existence on this earth, but lifted up so others could hear the story of a man who was worthy of emulation. May he rest in peace.
Joan Davis Road, 7S Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Social Services honoring a group of adults who continue to sow in the lives of children who are in the care of that ministry. A special luncheon was held on Friday for the foster parents who are committed to raising the children of this community.
I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them
a special luncheon held for those persons in the Grand Bahama community who continue to assist with the Department of Social Services Foster Parents Program. Pastor Wilbur Oughton of Freeport Bible Church commended the foster parents for giving of themselves and making life better for the most vulnerable in society. He gave an example of a successful young man who was raised by foster parents.
Yeah, and he shared with me what was it that really turned him around. When, he came from a home, when he think of his birth parents, he kind of had to struggle with the fact that, they operated as though they didn't want him, didn't see any worth or value in him, and his foster parents were the ones that kind of took him in and embraced him and remind him that he was a creation of God, he had worth and value, and that is the thing that propelled him through high school, college, and he was the valedictorian of his college class, but he came from a foster home.
Pastor Oughton telling the foster parents that they are doing a great work in society, saying foster parents are providing what the children need most, and that's what truly matters.
And that's affirmation, to help them to believe that they have worth and value, because we live in a society that's always reminding us of how we're not bringing much to the table and how everything is wrong with us. And so to have an influential adult speak directly to us and to remind us and to reassure us that we have value and that we have a contribution to make, again, it goes a long way in helping to redirect the path of the children that you are influencing.
Director of Social Services Paula Marshall said being a foster parent is no easy task, and she's grateful for the assistance of foster parents on Grand Bahama.
The work that we do will never be in vain. It will always be like seeds planted in good soil. It will produce fruit. And even if they get into trouble afterwards, you would represent the point in their lives when someone cared.
Parishioners at Freeport Gospel Chapel giving thanks for a major accomplishment in the life of the church. During a service yesterday, the church celebrated the completion of Phase 1 of its multi-purpose building project. Work on this space completed on time and below budget. It was another reason for church members to give thanks. Project coordinator Eugene Thompson and visiting pastor Jonathan Cooper out of Canada were among those reflecting on this achievement.
The design criteria have been met and exceeded with the product we dedicate today. All local and government requirements and inspections have been met and exceeded in many cases. The infrastructure is in place. For the rapid completion of the auditorium section. Power exists in the building, water, plumbing, air conditioning, state-of-the-art communication, and all of these are tested and operational.
What a joy it was to see that multi-purpose building springing out of the ground. How wonderful it was to know the sacrifice that the saints had made to see the project continually move forward. And here we are today dedicating that building. We sometimes lose sight of the Lord's presence with us, His leading and His guiding. But looking back, we can see He was with us every step of the way.
Now, ground was broken for the multi-purpose building in 2009, and its progress has been tremendous despite a struggling economy. Past president of the Assemblies of Brethren and a team out of New Providence also on hand to congratulate members of the church.
I'm glad to be here today to help to celebrate with you and to experience the good hand of the Lord's blessing here in Grand Bahama. And As long as the Lord gives me breath, I would come on down and help you to celebrate. Amen. So let's have a wonderful time as we go in there and we celebrate the first phase. And I hope soon, in another 2-3 months, we'll come back. we'll come back and we celebrate the completion.
You've been an example to us. And so when we go back, we're going to take the pictures, we're going to take the notes, and hopefully we can stir our people to continue to build on what God has given us. And also, we look for some great things to happen.
They understood whose wealth it is, and they had no problem in sacrificing and giving it back to God. That's how you can build. A gorgeous building like that, without going to the bank to do it. And we see that demonstrated here at Freeport Gospel Chapel. To God be the glory!
And that's a look at stories making news at the hour. Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn has a check on sports when we return.
Everybody, it's sports time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Tonight we dedicate our sports to the staff at SynGuide Services. These guys and gals can really make it happen. And also, Carla Jellin is also, Julian that is having a good one. She also celebrated as well. She didn't know cake like me, so I understand how that is. All right, here we go. The Grand Bahama Gymnastics Academy making waves in the sport once again, and they competed in New Providence recently and came home with lots of medals. Our Megan Shepard don't know how to tumble, don't know how to jump, but she got a report.
The Grand Bahama Gymnastics Academy traveled to New Providence to compete in the Bahama Star Invitational, where they competed against the best of the best. Coach Diana Wiley says it was a tough competition, but the girls did extremely well.
We took 24 gymnasts, 10 level 1s, 7 level 2s, 6 level 3s, and 1 level 4. We won a total of 73 medals, 28 first place, 26 second place, and 19 third place. We took a total of 8 kids who competed for the very first time. They were very excited and the kids did extremely well.
This is the group's second time at the Invitational, but Coach Wiley says the team was still a bit nervous going into competition. Thanks to their intense training with lots of conditioning and upper body strength development, the team was able to hold their ground.
Overall, I was very proud of the kids. They did a wonderful job. They went over there and they represented us very, very well. Some of them were very nervous, but they still competed and they did extremely well.
The academy recently moved into a new location, and Coach Wiley says they plan to continue training into the summer months to build their skill set, and they're all very excited about the future of gymnastics on Grand Bahama. Megan Shepard is ZNS Total Sports.
$25 to see Sheena do that. The Bahamas Basketball Federation Bunny Levarity National Championship completed on the weekend, folks, in New Providence. 2 titles came back here to Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Shipyard Cruisers, they won the Division I title, defeating the Commonwealth Bank Giants in the finals, 82-79. Marvin Cool Cat Gray, 24 points to boot, and the MVP honor. Marco Cooper had 14 points and 14 boards. Jabbar Liban 11 points and 10 rebounds to boot. Anton Thompson at 10 points as well in the championship win. As far as the Giants are concerned, Cameron Rose at 28 points, Jackson Jacob with 19, and Jeffrey Henfield with 11 points as well. Adrian Miller with 10. As far as the Division II title, that goes to Grand Bahama Reach Out Ministry Saints. They defeated the South Andros Police Enforcers 110-62. Keanu Russell finished with some 29 points, and the MVP honor, Kendrick Davis at 17. The Narrow Sade and Romaine Gibson both at 14. As for South Andros, Ronald Roker had a great game and also looking pretty good. As far as our girls, we can tell you that the Cheetahs swept the Grand Bahama Lady Knights 59-56 and 49-39. Our girls tried to do it, but the Cheetahs are simply too tough. The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism folks coordinated the Battle of the Bahamas. That's the extreme kayak fishing tournament, and what a tournament this thing was. The Extreme Kayak Fishing Battle of the Bahamas in the history books with some 34 anglers participating. The use of the kayak to catch big fish is really catching on and is admired by the young and not so young. Tano Beach was the launch site for the boats, and the stories were many as they were told by the anglers. Brian Nelly won the tournament with 75.2 points and caught a 35-pound kingfish and a 24-pound barracuda. As far as Donnie Melly, he was second with 35.9. Andrew Nixon also locked up third place with 32.7. Joe Kratz won the Billfish division with the white marlin and the biggest dolphin at weight and 18 pounds. Richard Trico, the Bahamas Minister of Tourism, said the tournament was a huge success and total team effort.
34 anglers, 34 kayaks. We want to thank our sponsors who helped us do this, Valeria, we want to Extreme Kayak, Tino Beach, Flamingo, Tino Beach by the Sea. We also want to give a great thanks out to the tourist office here, Eddie Bethel and her team, Rosalind Pinder, Philip, as well as Erica from the accounts department who came in here and helped us out greatly.
Get this, Matt Ecker fought a Blue Marlin for 11 hours and won a 4-day, 3-night stay at the Flamingo Bay Resort and Marina. The anglers were simply looking forward to this one, and they say next year.
We also like to make this an annual event. We're really set up for next year, in which we're looking for over 100 kayakers, because the response was excellent. If you look around, you can see how awesome this whole activity was.
And I got to say to Lambert, Texas Ranger and the folks there at Singard Services, Lambert, San Antonio is in. Now what you going to do, buddy? That's a look at sports tonight.